Hi everyone, we'll continue in this video, and in this video we will talk about Tableau user interface. So as you can see, as soon as you open a Tableau file, this is the first screen that you get. And so what we did last time, we just uploaded the global superstore, and then it took us actually to the first sheet here. So now in this sheet, as you can see, or in this window, you can see that we have all the tables that are in our Excel sheets. So let's look at the first sheet. So in sheet 1, as you can see here, we have on the top, we can actually create a sheet from here by clicking on this plus sign. We can also create a new dashboard by clicking on this plus sign, and also story here in the bottom. And we can go back and forth to the first screen actually, and so we'll just go back. So we are looking at sheet 1. So in this kind of interface, you can see in the top we have the menu bar. So in the menu we have a couple of controls in every one of those menus. So I will let you explore each one of them in detail to feel more comfortable with using all of them. So below the toolbar, below actually the menu, we can see the toolbar here. So the toolbar here has that undo and redo, and we have also the save button. So it's very important that you save your work, otherwise you will lose it. And there are two options here actually to save your work. You can save it as a Tableau workbook or save it as Tableau packaged workbook. So the difference between them is that Tableau packaged workbook actually also saves the data set with it. So for the sake for this assignment, you will need to submit or save your work as Tableau workbook only, and then save it and submit it. So again, make sure that you keep saving your work more often, that way you don't lose your work. You can go back and forth using this logo, in which you can go to this window where there have been actually saved data sources and that have been already pinned. Those are the data sources that I have used in the past. So now if you look at the data tab here, in this section, it starts with the data sources here, or data connections. So my data connection here is actually the global superstore, so which is this guy. So you might have more than one data connection, so that would be fine, and then you can click on the one that you want to work on. And as you can see here in the bottom, we have two categories, or we have two subcategories of data. We have dimensions and measures. So dimensions here basically refer to categorical variables, or what we call them discrete variables. And in the measures section here, we have all continuous or numeric variables, so continuous variables here, and including latitudinal or latitude and longitude that was automatically created for us based on those variables like country and city and so on. So now let's move to the analytics tab here. So the analytics tab here also helps us when we want, let's say, to add a trend line where it can calculate or show us the slope, the y-intercept, and the r-square, and so on, for the correlations, for example, or for if we are using time series for forecast, so we can just drag into our graph. So those are going to be very helpful, so we will go over some examples later on. So next thing that I want to talk about is actually this, what we call them, the cards. So we call those guys here so this is the canvas. So when we have variables, we can just drag and drop them either here into the main canvas, or we can actually drag them into what we call them shelves or cards. So the column shelves or the row shelves. So let's look at one of the examples here. I will drag shift or I'll drag profit and I will drop it in the column shelf. And then I will also drag and drop subcategory in the rows shelf. So now you can see that it looks nice. And other cards that we can use here, including pages, we will talk about it a little bit more later on. But let's look at the filters. Filters here, we can just drag and drop variables that we can put them here in the filter to filter our graph. So let's, in this example, let me grab a filter, in this case category, product category. I'll drop it here. Now it gets me into this window. I will select all. Basically those are the three categories of products that this company provides. So I'll select all and say okay. Now you can see it anywhere, so you might need to click on this arrow here. So you click on this arrow guy and say show filter. So now I can see all the filters are showing here. So in your case you might have this on, so you just click on it to be able to see the category. You can also work on this by customizing what you really want to see in those legends. You can just go customize, and let's say that I don't want to see the all option. I'll just go to customize and click on it. Now I'll just put it back. So that's in terms of filters. So we can just drop filters here and work on them. And let's say that I just want to look at only technology, or I just want to look at furniture. So it's very helpful here to use this filter. So as you can see here, after filter we can see marks. So here we have different marks. We have color, size, label, detail. Yeah, and in this here, this helps us as well. For example, let's say that I wanna drag profit and put it into color, because I want profitability to be colored. So the darker, the higher the profit, the more yellow the color, the less the profit or negative profit, as you can see here. So we can also work with this. As you might notice in one of the classes, we were trying to work with color in another software and it was not cooperating well with us. So but this one, Tableau, is very powerful and allows us to select the color that we want. So this is really great. So I'll just click OK and I will accept this default color. So let me see what else I want to cover. Another thing that I want also to cover is the legend here. Actually, you can drag them and drop them and put them wherever you want. And that was all for this, and we'll continue next.